We're here to define what a man is, right?
Responsibility creates struggle. Struggle creates strength. And strength creates structure.
How many people care about what people think about them? Be honest.
As a man, you got to be able to protect not just yourself, but your family.
When we talk about being a man, it's your behaviors.
But I don't say any of this to brag. I don't say any of this to gloat my life up or I'm better than anybody.
I start crying. I'm like, why am I crying? And so what I realized was,
you put yourself in a target-rich environment. You are the only woman that paid for a ticket to come to this event.
if you're trying to teach your daughter to be around a certain man and you're not that man yourself, she gonna choose you.
Hey, let me not touch this nigga. He too clean. Where is that on you?
It's not on me.
It's not on you. The only reason why it's not on you is because you didn't choose it.
Find the women who can actually help you build. And here's some deep game for you. You don't have to have sex with all of them.
Since 2016, I've been following Lucario and Miles. Y'all changed my life. Followed by Uncle Ram. So ever since then, I've been getting a little bit of too much ass at times.
You know, as a man, there's a balance to it. Your purpose and pussy. And the heavier your purpose.
Even if you lose the relationship, you don't lose yourself. And that's the most important part. Yo, let's get it.
Ooh.
Yo, what's good, Miles?
What's going on, man?
How's life treating you, bro?
Yo, can't complain. Can't complain. Life is good, man. How you been?
Hey, man, I woke up this morning. The sun was shining. Everything was working, as far as I know. I'm gonna need a lady to come over to confirm that. But other than that, yeah, we good.
Facts, man. Facts. That's what's up.
So real quick, let me plug the joint. Men, stop trying to impress women right now. Stop it. Right, I got a couple of clips I'm going to show. One of the clips I'm going to let play all the way through. The other clip is far too long. So I'm just going to play it to a certain point where we get the gist of what's going on. And then we're going to go ahead and hit it with our commentary like we always do. So let me address this. Oh, yeah. Get that soap.
Real quick, hit that QR code, get your soap, order your soap. Got the masculine identity soap. All right. Appreciate it.
First and foremost, Netflix pissed me off, dog. Between my TV, my computer, and my phone, I had all three working with the Netflix shit because it kept freezing so
much. It froze a few times.
So I kept refreshing each of the devices. Now, as far as the fight, I'm just glad Tyson didn't get knocked down or get hurt or get knocked out. Because I'm not going to say if it was staged or not. It just seemed like Tyson really didn't want to fight. That's what it seemed like to me. That's what I gathered from it. Did you see it, Miles? You saw it, right?
Yeah, I watched it. And shout out to Jay Bizzle. He said with the 1999 super chat, he says, "I appreciate the game about to be taught. Appreciate you." You know what it is, man. I just chalked it up to an event. You understand? The other fights were better. Yeah. Like the undercard fights were better. You feel me? Like that first fight was whatever, but the fight between Mario Barrios and the other nigga. That shit was a good fight. Both of them had a knockdown. That was cool. And the fight between the girls, the ladies, that was pretty cool. I mean, Shorty kept leading with her head, and it is what it is. But that big gash, you know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. But as far as the Tyson Jake Paul fight, I don't know if I got his name right. Paul Logan, Jake Paul. I don't know. Anyway, Logan Paul, whatever. Their last name is Paul, right? I don't know. Anyway,
Jake is the one that fought. Logan is the other one.
Gotcha. So as far as the fight itself, I heard somebody say that there was a no knockout clause. Like they signed an agreement to not try to knock each other out. So that's what I heard. But and the only reason why I bring that up is to kind of explain what we looked at and what we saw. You get what I'm saying? Because I think it's a rumor, but I think it might be true. Because I mean, if you look at the way the Paul kid fought his other fights, he was way more aggressive.
Yep.
And you can't really count Mike out because if you start to get too greedy and leave yourself open and Mike catch you, because even in them first two rounds, Mike caught him in the chest near the chin And it was like, oh, okay, hold up now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, I think both of them was playing it safe. And it's kind of like a lose-lose for the young kid, because it's like, if you lose to him and if you knock him out, it's like you knocked out a 58-year-old dude.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But if you get knocked out by him, then it's like
about 50.
knocked out by 58-year-old dude. So it's a lose-lose for him. So I guess that was the best thing. For me, I just chalked it up to a good event. And
Yes.
I think here's the thing that I appreciate too. The fact that they put it on Netflix.
Yes.
Because I would be pissed if I paid pay-per-view for that shit.
Oh, I thought about that shit too.
So I kind of appreciate the fact that it was just on Netflix. And it's like, if you got Netflix, I mean, of course there were issues with the buffering and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I'm glad it was on Netflix and I didn't pay like $80 for some fucking pay-per-view. Because if I paid for the pay-per-view, I would have been tight.
Hey, shout out to my $6.99. That's what I paid for it. I'm gonna tell you this.
And real quick, Danny P, he said, respect the game, respect the panel, grateful to be here. Let's get it. And then we got Jay Bizzle with another $19.99. So appreciate you, brother. Right, go.
Okay. So I would say this, two things. One, the reason why I was buffering, because they probably had way more people watching than they anticipated. Because usually when the servers get hot with viewership, that typically happens. So Netflix wasn't prepared for that. Shame on them.
Right.
But also, if you watched any of the sparring clips from Tyson, it's clear he wasn't fighting with the same veracity. He wasn't hitting like he was in those sparrings. So he was holding back. You know what I'm saying?
He was holding back, yeah.
So it makes sense that what you said about the no knockout clause, that makes sense. Why neither one of them was really aggressive. Paul was a little more aggressive, but he wasn't like your point. He wasn't as aggressive. He wasn't like, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, he just did enough to win. He did enough to land punches and score points to win. Yeah.
So if before the fight he was talking that shit about how he was gonna fuck Tyson up and knock him out, and Tyson said, I'm gonna knock. All of that shit was just to hype up the fight so people would watch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was. I think that part of it was definitely scripted when they were just talking that shit, because Tyson was not the Iron Mike. I'm trying to knock your head off your shoulders. He wasn't coming like that. All right, so let's get into this, guys. Real quick before we continue, if you have a question, put a Q in the chat followed by your question. What are we talking about today? Men, stop trying to impress women right now. Let's get to the first clip, and we're gonna get off into this shit. Where that joint at? Right here.
Date outside of your means. Don't date in a way that you cannot afford. So if you do want to have, your date experience like a nice dinner, maybe you can splurge one night, but let's pick other dates that she could also enjoy, so that if you guys do end up in a relationship, this is how you date her. You guys go on dates doing things that she enjoys, and every once in a while you can splurge on a really nice date. That's how she knows you as. If you take her on these fancy dates all of the time, but can't afford to take her on these fancy dates when she's your actual girlfriend, you have a problem.
You saying yourself. There's women that be like, hey, you don't have to take me, to Philippe's every weekend, or, I don't need this expensive date all the time. And that's when the man is supposed to take, the initiative to really digest that information and say, okay, let me get more creative or do something more thoughtful. The problem is most women and men are creatures of habit, and we adapted these ways of dating. If I don't take you, a man will feel like if I don't take this girl that I really want to know to a nice date and I take her to Applebee's, I'm never going to get a second chance with her. So it's like, you can't say don't lead that way when it's almost a requirement to come correct. Because if he doesn't, he's going to get clowned and he's going to get next. But he really wants to, I guess, get to know you. And I'm assuming this is a guy that wants to get to know you, not just want to have sex.
I think, Miles, and I already know you can't stand these co-ed panels. A couple of things. Number one, hashtag her debit card works too. Both of them, this is both men and women for the most part have been conditioned that the dating experience is all about the woman. It's all about what the man can do for the woman. And even she said, this is how you date her.
Right.
Guys, I tell you all the time, date women on your terms. You make the rules for you.
Right.
Fuck what society got to say about it. Fuck what women got to say about it. You date on your terms. And what he was saying was basically, oh, if you take a woman to Applebee's, you'll get clowned. Why are you worried about what people think? See, this goes in line with the title because you're trying to impress the woman. Guys, and I know, Miles, you and Elle did a joint, I believe, on Friday where y'all was talking about it's not really incumbent upon you trying to get to know the woman. Guys,
Right.
You don't need to get to know the woman. Here's the thing, and I'm going to pass it to you, Miles. Here's the thing. Get to know yourself. Get to know what you like. Get to know what you're into. Get to know what makes you personally happy, right? And then what you do is you deal with women that are in alignment with what it is you like. Like that song by Bruno Mars when he says, "You lucky I like this shit too." I don't remember the exact line.
Yeah.
But
Lucky for you. That's what I like. That's what I like. Yeah.
there you go. But my thing is, men need to get out of the habit of stop trying to date women and pick and choose things you think they would like. You're making everything about the woman. And again, what has she done for you to elevate her to such a lofty status that everything you do is with her in mind and you're secondary and she's primary with your thought process? Go ahead,
Right.
Miles.
Yeah, man. The part that I didn't like was the part where, she was like, take her out and do things that she liked to do. No, we're going to do things that I like to do. Number one, I'm paying for it. Number two, you guys, we got to remember, we got to get out of this mindset like we're trying to prove ourselves to the woman. The woman has to prove herself to us. And here's what I mean. I don't mean necessarily, and shout out to Bruce II for the $9.99 super chat. He says, got to tend to my side hustle today, so I'll catch y'all on replay. But first, let me drop a small token for the game. I'll be teaching this lesson to my sons once they're old enough to spell their names. Facts. That's what's up. Shout out to you and your sons, homie. Yes, sir. All right. And then June Sports with the $1.99. He said, very grateful for the consistent game. Yes, sir. So check this out, guys. When I say a woman has to prove herself to you, I know it sounds more, it's going to sound a little bit more misogynistic than it needs to. What I really mean to say is that you want the woman to prove that she is compatible with you. Do you understand? You want the woman to prove that she likes the things you like. Show her what you like. That is the point of the date. It's not to cater to her and what she likes. Do you understand? It is for you to do what you like and bring her along for the experience and then see how she responds to that experience. And however she responds to that experience will indicate to you on whether or not you should waste your time with this female or not. Because sex is one thing, but especially if you're really trying to have a relationship with a woman, you want to make sure that she likes what you like. Not the other way around. Because check this out. Here's what you got to understand as a default about being a man. As a default, as a leader of a situation, that's our default setting, leader. You understand? But understand, a leader is actually a servant. A leader serves his constituents.
Don't let that go over your head, but go ahead.
A lot of people don't understand. And when I say servant, it's not that I'm subservient. No, I am a servant, meaning I provide protection, masculine energy, leadership, confidence, support, clarity, intellect, understanding, logic. All of these things that I do, that's the default setting. So just me being a man means I am giving to this woman. So therefore, when we go out on a date, she has to come see if she likes what I like to do. That's what it's really all about. And that's what a lot of guys get wrong. You think I'm bringing you to, let's just say I bring a woman to a steakhouse. You think I'm bringing you to a steakhouse because I'm trying to impress you? I'm bringing you to a steakhouse, number one, because I've been here before. Number two, because I enjoy steak. And I'm actually showing you the quality of steak that I enjoy. So you know what? You should be taking notes on how to cook these types of steaks at home. But a lot of you don't even have that fucking mindset. You're sitting there thinking, oh, let me bring her to this steakhouse so I can impress her. Fuck that. If you don't already go to that steakhouse on a regular basis, or if you haven't already been there, You shouldn't even bring her there. If you know you the type of nigga that go to Applebee's all the time, take that bitch to Applebee's. And again, see her response.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she's sitting there talking about, oh, why are you taking me to Applebee's? She's not your type of woman, because Applebee's is where you usually go. Let's not get into the ego and the judgment of the quality of Applebee's and all that other shit. We must look at who we are as men. If I love to go to Applebee's because that's where I go, then that's where I'm gonna bring her. I don't care about what society thinks about Applebee's or what the internet thinks about Applebee's. I'm bringing her to Applebee's because this is where I like to go for my own reasons. And I'm showing this woman an aspect of my life and my life choices and the quality of lifestyle that I designed for myself. So at the same time, if I love to go to Ruth Chris, that's because I know what's on the menu at Ruth Chris already. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm going there because I like it. You know what my favorite, real quick, and I get it to you. You know what my favorite steakhouse actually is? Now, don't get me wrong. I've been to really nice steakhouses. I've been to Mastro's. I've been to fucking Keen's. I've been to Michael Jordan Steakhouse in Chicago. Beautiful place, by the way. If you go to Chicago, make sure you go to Michael Jordan Steakhouse. That's not even a joke. Make sure you put for real. That steakhouse we went to in Miami the other day, that was really nice.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? But you know what my favorite overall steakhouse is? Longhorns, nigga. Longhorns Steakhouse. And here's why. Because their food is consistent. Bro, they never fucking miss. You get what I'm saying? Now, if I take a bitch to Longhorns and she's like, ugh, this ain't Ruth Chris, this ain't Mastro's, this ain't nothing special, why you taking me to, this is a chain. She gets dismissed. Because if she don't understand the truth behind Longhorn, if she don't understand that Longhorn, again, like I said, their food is consistently on point. They never fucking miss. They always, the taste is good and it always tastes basically the same. You know what you're getting when you go to Longhorns. And that's what I like about them. They're not that expensive, but they're not that cheap either. And it's always quality food, quality service, decent atmosphere. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's going to be, if I take the first steakhouse that I ever take a woman to is going to be Longhorns. And then I'm going to see how she responds to that. And then and only then will she be able to go to other steakhouses that I've been to.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? And then let me tell you something. She will only get the privilege of trying out a new steakhouse with me after she's gone through the vetting process and actually becomes my woman. You see what I'm saying? So you have to do these in steps and realize that it's not about us proving ourselves to the woman and trying to fucking impress her. It's about us bringing her into our lives. You got it, Kate.
Well, let me do this right quick. William Kahn with the 10. He says, this past week, a woman told me what impressed her the most about me was how I didn't try to impress her, showing support to the game. So look, let me tell y'all something. I say this all the time. The same thing that women say they like, they hate. Okay? And what I mean by that is, on one hand, a woman might say, oh, I want to be spoiled or I want to be impressed. But if you're the guy that's doing that and she actually likes you, the respect is going to wane. Now, if she don't really like you like that, she ain't really all that attracted to you, it ain't going to matter. She wants you to do it. In fact, the only reason she's fucking with you is because you're doing it. But if she actually likes you, she look at you as someone she might want to deal with beyond just sex, she don't want you to, you know what I'm saying, to tuck your tail and to just do everything for her just because she's a woman. Okay? So I need you guys to understand that. And let me just say this about taking women out to eat that you just met. This is just me. I'm allergic to taking a woman out to eat and she can't even show me she can cook yet. Yeah. What I look like taking you out to eat? I'm buying you a meal and you ain't even showing me you know how to fix a proper meal.
Yeah.
You know I'm just saying, that's just me, right? So I don't think if men want to take women out to eat on the first date, that's y'all. I'm against that. I'm against taking women out to eat. It has nothing to do with money. A lot of people think it's about money. It's not about the money.
Exactly.
Right? Because if you can't afford a meal, then something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? A meal for yourself. Okay, understand that. So it's not about the money. It's about the principle.
Right.
And Miles, you said it earlier. I'm gonna show women what I like. Okay, I don't give a fuck what you like. I don't give a fuck what you like to do for dates. Because here's the thing: when I tell you guys, hashtag her debit card works too. If a woman wants a particular date experience, she needs to fucking pay for it. Period. She needs to pay for it. So if a woman is looking at you with the side eye, like, is this what you have in store? Okay, number one, the date is over. She don't even get a date at that point. But if a woman actually wants to eat at a particular place or go to a particular place, after the first date, what she needs to tell you is, you know, I enjoyed myself. I really would like to see you again. How about the next time we link up, it's on me. And then wherever she wants to go, she hips you to that spot. But she paying for the whole fucking thing, right? But this notion that you have women, and it's unfortunate, but guys, I put the blame at y'all feet though. Because there's far too many simps out here just giving women the world. And all they're giving you is a square block. Okay, right. It's an issue with that, right? Miles, we good with the calling line. I'm about to put up the number after I get to this next one.
The lines are open, guys. Lines are open now with 647-9392, something like that. Yeah, 919-647. All right, we got Jay Roman in the building. What's going on?
What up, pal? Okay, hold on, Jay. Let me finish my thought and we'll pass it to you. So this is what I want guys to understand, right? And Miles, again, you alluded to it earlier. Guys, it's not about getting to know the woman. It's about introducing women to the most sincere, genuine, authentic version of you. Period. That's all it's about. And Miles, you said it earlier too, seeing how she responds to that presentation of your authentic self, seeing how she responds to that and reacts to what it is you're doing. If she responds and reacts favorably, she gets to stick around, right? But even then, that doesn't guarantee that she's gonna get a date at a steakhouse or a seafood restaurant or wherever. Okay, it doesn't guarantee that. But all she did was step the card for another shot to be around you when it comes to basking in your motherfucking physical presence. Guys, y'all need to have more pride and say, you know what? I have value beyond what I can do financially. I have value beyond where I can take a woman out on a date. Stop trying to impress women. In the next clip, it's gonna show you guys why a lot of guys really seek to impress women. For the most part, a lot of times it's because the woman is beautiful. You got her on a pedestal because you're too captivated and enthralled by the way that she looks, and you're too thirsty for the sex. So it's almost like you're rolling out the red carpet so that way you can try and separate yourself so you can try and get to the sex. But all you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position to actually get used and played. Hey, Roman, you got it, Phil.
I'll keep it rolling. I just stepped in, from the title. I always thought when you try to impress somebody, it's almost like you're begging for their attention. So just from that statement alone, as a grown man, why are you begging for somebody to validate what you have done or worked hard to do? It doesn't make any sense. So, but go ahead, man.
All right, so let me get to this next clip right here. And I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play what needs to be said, and then we're going to get to it.
How much you spending on these dates? Come on now. Come on. Come on.
Man, look, I think $300 is a good budget.
It ain't.
$300 ain't no good budget.
Absolutely not. This Atlanta. You know what I mean? Drug dealers and scammers and stealers and robbers and athletes. We got the Atlanta Hawks, the Falcons, the Braves. You know how much money baseball players make?
I do.
So if you catch her after she been down there in Lenox with one of them Atlanta Braves and you show her $300.
See? You see, you named her. Now, which one of those teams Shannon Sharp play for?
That's all I needed to play. Do y'all see what just happened? And a lot of guys do this. He's comparing the guy in the black, talking to Shannon Sharp. He is trying to compete with what he thinks other men are doing financially.
Yeah.
Guys, stop trying to compete with other men. Look, if I'm dealing with a woman and there's a guy with money who's spending $300 on her, good for that nigga, right? Because I got 20 in my pocket. I'm about to drop. Okay, that's it. You know what I mean? So if you got a nigga that's willing to spend $300-400 on you, hey, dismiss yourself from this date and go call him right now. I wish you all the luck in the world. I'm not trying to compete with no other niggas as far as what they spending on the chick. And Miles, I do consultations where guys are overly concerned with other guys' financial status. Like an example of that, when guys be in Miami or even Atlanta, and they go into these clubs and they see these luxury automobiles, these Rolls Royces, these Bentleys out in the parking lot,
right?
They're automatically intimidated by the fact, how can I compete with that? You know, I pulled up in here to Toyota Camry, and there's a Bentley and a fucking Ferrari, and all them niggas got all this money. Why would a woman want to talk to me when there's guys rolling in one of them? And a lot of you guys, you allow that bullshit to make you insecure. You allow that bullshit to make you motivated to get money just so you can compete with what them bitch ass niggas is doing, so you can try to impress the bitch so she'll fuck with you like she fucking with them. Y'all got it.
Yeah, and shout out to dude. His name Carlos Miller. He's a comedian. But yeah, so and it just goes to show how you can appreciate certain things about somebody, but then certain other aspects of their mindset is like, that's you, my brother. But so anyway, these type of conversations, they always seem so silly to me, because what do I care about another dude? Like, what do I care about a celebrity? And why would I compare myself? And my thing is this: if she want to go fuck with the Atlanta Braves, please go fuck with them. Because if you only fucking with a nigga for his fame and his money, then you can't hang with a man like me. Because that's not what I'm on. That's not the type of time I'm on. You're not gonna even know how much money I make off the rip anyway. You understand? You could probably maybe you could use your brain and try to do the math and all that type of shit. But that's not going to be a part of my conversation. And the thing with me is that I lead with my masculine identity, not my wallet, not my status, not my looks and all that other shit. I lead with my masculine identity. I lead with who I am. And so if that doesn't interest you enough, then by all means, please leave me alone. Go fuck with them niggas over there. Go fuck with the niggas in the VIP. Go fuck with the niggas with the Bentleys. Go fuck with the athletes. Go fuck with the celebrities, please. That's what I want you to do, because remember, a guy like me doesn't get rejected. A guy like me finds compatibility. So once you're not, because here's the thing, what I'm looking for from a woman is more important than any particular woman. You see what I'm saying? This is what a lot of guys don't understand, because he's sitting there talking about, oh, what you gonna do when you in Atlanta and you got all the Atlanta Braves and you got the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons, you got all these sports teams. And what I'm looking for from the woman, in the woman, is more important than any one female. You looking at her like, damn, she got a fat ass and she this and she that, she look good. So if she got all these other niggas hollering at her that be on these sports teams, then she not gonna holler at you. Well, if she not the type of woman to see past all that bullshit and recognize the value in Miles Cunningham, why would I want her? The only type of woman I want is the woman that's gonna see past all of the bullshit and recognize the value in Miles Cunningham. And if she can't do that, then I'm not looking for her. I'm not checking for her, because what I'm looking for is more important than the woman herself. So no matter how fat her ass is, again, like I said, if she's not realizing the value of Miles Cunningham simply because I am who I am, then I can't fuck with her, period.
Let me say this real quick, Jay Roman, before you hop in here. A couple of things, right? Guys, a lot of these women that fuck with some of these athletes, they also fuck with niggas with regular jobs too. Because here's the thing, and this is what guys got to understand. Women will always gravitate to the men they are sexually attracted to first. So even if you're a Walmart manager or you just got a regular 9 to 5, when I say regular, I'm not saying you are a regular man. I'm just saying you just got a regular job, right? If you're the type of guy where you have sex appeal, it doesn't matter the other guys that the women are fucking with. They're still gonna want to fuck with you too, right? I need guys to understand that, right? So stop trying to compete with guys with money, because all you're really doing is you have reduced yourself to a wallet. Okay? That's all you reduced yourself to. Now it's to the point where your integrity as a man, your dignity as a man, your values, your standards, your principles no longer matter, because you're trying to compete with what these other niggas is doing for this fucking female, right? Don't play yourself like that. Go ahead, Jay Roman, you got it.
You know, that one thing that came to mind was that out of my league, right? You hear people say you try to date and out of your league and things like that, but really is you're trying to date out of your mindset. And that's the thing, is that, like you were saying, Miles, if somebody is really into that, more power to her. I'm not knocking any female that likes any dude for whatever reason. That's what they like.
That's what
you know. But it's not that she's out of your league, because that guy was saying, like, hey, you got to come with more than $300. Basically, there's too many ballers in here, and you got to pretend to ball just like them to get a female. Well, you're not dating out of your league for that female. You're dating out of your mindset, but you got to have your own mindset to know what you're dating out of.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have your own mindset, your own, man, my voice been going out all weekend. But if you don't have your own mindset of things that she can connect to, then yeah, you're going to be dating, trying to chase her mindset on things. Well, I got to ball out, or I got to get this car, or I got to make this amount of money. I got to spend a certain amount of money on her. You know what I'm saying? So let me drink this tea real quick.
And by the way, real quick to the video, $300, bro. I even if I don't know, I think that even if I was as rich as somebody like Shannon Sharp,
there we go. See,
I still don't think I'm spending that much.
I spend as much money as I want to spend.
Yeah, like
whatever I want to do. So
again, for me, the first date is usually drinks. That's the first date. And it's not like I go to dive bars or places where you get a fucking, $3 shots for, 2 for $3 or some cheap shit. I go to nice mixology bars. You understand what I'm saying? But again,
rooftop joints. Yeah,
rooftop joints. Yeah, but $300 for the first date? Like, who are we? Like, come on, bruh. And then you wonder why these niggas wonder why these bitches be so entitled. It's like y'all gotta stop that shit. But anyway, every man gonna do what they do. But again, the actions that you take gonna dictate your reality. You understand? Whatever you think you're supposed to be doing, because remember, a woman follows your lead. So you also have to consider that if that's how you starting off, you understand? She's only looking for her, that's like the baseline. That's the bottom line. You understand? So you got to be careful. And this is why you got to understand the vetting process and how to let a woman earn shit. You see what I'm saying? Because you starting off at a $300 budget for a date, especially if she's a materialistic type of bitch. That's going to be the base point. That's going to be the cutoff point. And so you boxing yourself in a corner. And now you have to spend at least $300 on every date, or else she gonna have something to say, or she gonna feel away and all that other shit. So you got to be careful, man. All I'm saying is you got to be careful. Starting at $300 is kind of scary.
Yeah, let me say this, okay? And this is for me. Your quote unquote budget for spending money, I don't think it should be predicated on your money. I think it should be predicated on the investment of the bitch. Right? What has she invested in your situation? Miles, I agree with you. I was thinking the exact same. I don't care if I have $15 million in the bank. I'm still not spending $300 because for me, right? I'm very meticulous and I'm very methodical when it comes to the women that I date. So what I mean by that is this: if I'm dating a woman, even if I'm dating her seriously, she's not going to get the same type of treatment that a girlfriend would.
Right.
Just like a girlfriend wouldn't get the same type of treatment that a wife would. Right? Especially if the girlfriend isn't necessarily wifey material. So based on what I categorize a woman to be to me. That determines the date. That determines the budget of the date. My money doesn't determine the budget of the date. How pretty she is doesn't determine the budget of the date. Hell, how much I like her doesn't even determine the budget of the date, because I can like her, but if she ain't doing what I need her to do, I'm not going to do the shit that I would if she was making the investment in the situation she needed to make. Right? So I think what guys need to do is take their feelings out of it and date with a more pragmatic perspective. Like, be logical about how you do shit. Because I tell you guys all the time, when you're mainly motivated to make decisions with your feelings in mind, you're going to betray yourself. Okay, you will be betrayed by your feelings and your emotions all the time. And guys trying to compete with other men as far as the money that they spend, that's based on emotions. That's based on your feelings. That's based on this thought that if I don't keep up with what I think these other guys is doing with this woman, then I'm not going to get what I want. And my thing is, this is what a lot of guys don't understand. And this is what dating has become for a lot of weak individuals. It's literally a trick hole dynamic when it comes to dating. Too many guys act like tricks, and you're dealing with women from the perspective that they're hoes. Because that's how you're coming at it. That once you start talking about dating and dealing with women, and money is at the forefront of the conversation, you already lost. Money should never be at the forefront of any conversation when you're talking about dealing with women. It should never be at the forefront. I'm not saying it don't factor into the equation some point down the road, but it should never be at the forefront, because the first order of business is this: is shorty sexually attracted to me? I don't care if I don't spend a fucking penny on her. Is she feeling me sexually? Because if she's not, why am I dealing with her anyway? Okay, even if it comes to taking her to a coffee date or somewhere for drinks, which I really don't drink no more, but also if I took her to a fucking free museum somewhere. Okay, even when it comes to giving her access to me where I'm not spending no money, why is she around me if she ain't feeling me sexually? Right? But far too many guys, they want sex, but they're too busy trying to secure sex from the woman by any means necessary. I'm not trying to secure sex from a woman. Okay, what I do need to see is deference, humble submission, and respect. Humble submission and respect, that gets her the dick. But if she wants my attention and my affection and all that type of shit beyond sex, then she got to put some skin in the game.
Right.
And that skin in the game, it may require her. Number one, she got to be following my motherfucking lead to the utmost, you know what I'm saying, out the gate. But also, it may require her to come off that debit card and break bread with your boy. It also may require her to get in the kitchen and click them pots and pans a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, I want guys to understand something. And I said it earlier. Far too many guys, y'all give women access to you non-sexually unabated. You give them unbridled access to you where anytime they want to be around you, you just give them access to you, but they haven't done anything. All they do is look cute and you want to fuck them, and that's it. If a woman wants access to you beyond sex, she got to show you why she deserved that. Because I told you guys all the time, women covet non-sexual attention, affection, and intimacy just as much, if not more, than sex. So if you notice, okay, you want access to me non-sexually, right? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because fucking me ain't enough to get that. Right. Looking cute to me ain't enough to get that. What are you gonna do? But y'all got it. Oh, the call-in line is open. 919-647-9392. Go ahead, Jay.
You know, Jay Roman comes from a little bit of different style, a little bit. I'm sitting here thinking, and I don't believe I had a lot of first dates. Like we hung out, like we did things, and if you didn't appreciate that, then we weren't going out. You know, like I think really the only first dates I really had was somebody that was out of town because it just took more planning, you know. But I was the type of person like, look, I'm about to go to the grocery store. If you really like me, you know what I'm saying, come hang with me real quick. I got some errands to do. Come hang with me. Come do that. Now, if you did that, then we went a little further. But it wasn't like a reward system for me. It was just like, okay, you cool, So whenever I want to go out a certain way, and that's part of my thing. Like $300, like I don't care how much you spend if it's on you though. It's something that you want to do. Now, when I would go out, and let's say, people say, don't bring sand to the beach, but I find you attract way more sand bringing sand to the beach. But if I want to go out, go dancing or something like that, I would pick whoever I want to go out with and be like, hey, let's rock and roll. Now, for me, it wasn't no date. It wasn't no first date. It's just, this is the way I want to hang out in my evening. I could have went by myself. I could have called a homie, or I could have had a female companionship. And, I chose the female this time. That female is you because you're available. Let's rock and roll. It wasn't like we're building on dates. And so I didn't have like just a lot of dates, but I had a lot of interaction with ladies going out and enjoying ourselves. There was no expectation after that, but it just seemed, hey, most of the time when they do enjoy themselves, they want to have a nightcap too. But it was just no expectation because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out. I wanted to go to Root Chris. I want to go somewhere. I can go by myself, which I've done before, or I can go with a little company and talk, So I think for guys to understand your mindset on this, to me, because dating and spending money is so convoluted the way society has it now, where she has a demand on how much you spend to me to register that, you're really interested. And, you got these guys that you're looking at, the cars and the dress and the style, when really, when you strip that all down, the bottom line is she feeling me? The real me, not no fake me that's presented and buffed up by society. Is she feeling me? Because it don't matter. There's so many dudes, and I don't understand why we can't just learn from things we see, learn from the complaints online by all these different pill people. Oh, I spent this amount of money, and man, she turned around and walked away and did this. Well, aren't we learning from it? It don't really matter the money you spend. It don't really matter your cars. It don't really matter that stuff. What type of things are you in her ear saying? What type of company are you being? Like, it don't really matter all this other stuff. So why do we keep going down it? Why do we keep having these conversations? Cats, it's just silly to me. And even with these stars, these stars know, like, their whole mentality is so wrapped around money that the female registered, the money, and so I got to put up the money, and $300 is not enough. $300 is not enough. Like three, 5. I'm with you, Miles. I don't care how much money I'm making. If you register the amount of money I spent and determine if it's a good date, I don't care if it's a great date. This ain't the date that's ever going to happen with me and you again.
Facts.
Yeah. So let me throw this up there. Still can't believe I spent $150 on dinner and didn't get, even bought flowers. I'm done being a nice guy. You see what happens? You see what happens? You see what happened with guys? Because guys have been sold this bill of goods. And y'all should already know the truth. I don't know why guys are still doing this song and dance with women. You think, number one, guys, you cannot buy a woman's affection. You cannot buy a woman's genuine sexual desire for you. Now, you can buy sex, but you cannot buy a woman's genuine sexual desire for you. You can't buy respect, right? You can't buy a woman really liking you. You can't buy these things. Right. So for whatever reason, guys think that money equates to a woman liking them. No. Right. Guys, a woman can like you. She could be feeling you. She can sexually desire you. And you never spent the penny. Yo, I remember back in the day, me and my boys, right? We would get an ice chest, and like a Saturday, for instance. And we would get up and we would go to the convenience store. This was back in the days when niggas was drinking Zimas and all that goofy ass shit. You know what that is? Yeah. Zima. Right? Yeah. Zimas and 40 ounces, and we would put them in an ice chest, throw them in the back of the trunk, and we would go to this park called Brackenridge Park out here in San Antonio, close to the zoo. And, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock, and there would be mad chicks out. And we would just holler at chicks. And we would literally be kicking it with some chicks, sipping on something, you know, maybe putting a little something in the air, like you said, Jay Roman, just kind of kicking it. And oftentimes I would meet chicks like that, and either later on that night or within a day or two of meeting them, I'm smashing. And then spend not a penny other than on the alcohol that I'm drinking, right? Then spend nothing, just hanging out, talking to chicks, you know, and basically having an Insta date. Like, this is a date right here. Because this is what guys got to understand about a date. All a date really is for you and a woman to spend some one-on-one time getting better acquainted with each other.
That's
right?
it.
Your job as a man is to ascertain whether or not she's behaving and conducting herself in such a fashion that she gets an opportunity to see you again, right? And her job as a woman to figure out the same thing for her. And then at the end of the day, or maybe halfway through it, if both of you are feeling it, you already talking about linking up and catching up again. That's all that it is. But for whatever reason, dates turn into this dick measuring contest with money. Who can spend the most money on the bitch? Right. And let me tell you something real quick. And I want guys to understand something. There's a lot of guys who are insecure. So they put things in front of them. They'll put their job, their status, their money, their cars. They'll put their material possessions and all of these things in front of them because they don't feel like, as a man, as a standalone man, that they're good enough. So they feel they have to have all of these different things outside of them to equal up to the woman.
Right.
It's almost like you got a woman next to you and you putting cinder blocks on the ground and you be like, I need another one. I'm not tall enough to reach her. All right, my car ain't flying enough. All right, now I'm there. All right, my money ain't long enough. Now I'm getting to the point where I can get at this fucking woman because I got her so much up here above me simply because of the way that she looks or the fact that I desire her sexually. You put all of this shit in front of you. And again, I said this before. A lot of you guys value women to the extent that you devalue yourself. And that guy in that video in the black, the comedian, he don't understand. He devalued himself, right? He turned himself basically into a wallet saying, who I am as a man, my character as a man matters not. Because my wallet ain't long enough. If I'm not spending the type of money that this woman may want me to spend, I'm nothing in her eyes. Why would you even want to deal with a woman who views you that way? But the fact that you view yourself that way, that's the motherfucking problem. Guys, the call-in line is open. 919-647. Here we go.
All right, so we got 407. You are on live with on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host Kay Zaggin with Miles and Jay Roman. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
All right, you can hear me well?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Damani from Orlando, 19. What is that? Jay Roman and Miles.
What up?
I have a question. So I'm full-time at Coca-Cola as an order builder, and just started another job, Publix, as a warehouse selector. Both are physically strenuous, right? And okay, I'm just saying, would it be good for me to also keep going to the gym as well on my off days? Like, would it overdo? Like, would it overdo? How can I say it? Yeah, am I overdoing it?
Okay.
Or is it
Caller, listen. Are you going to the gym to work out for yourself, or are you going to the gym to try and attract women? What's your purpose?
It's all for self. Everything I do is for self.
Okay, so here's the thing. You want to get to the point where, as a man, you work smarter and not harder, right? So you said you were an order selector for Coca-Cola. You ever thought about being a driver? They pay more money.
No. CDL, not. Well, you got to cross train, but it's not like they let you. But also, you're saying 2 jobs is doing too much.
No. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not saying 2 jobs is too much, bro. I worked 2 jobs because I had to do it. I was stacking my cheese. What I'm telling you is, get to the point where you're not running yourself ragged. Have a plan for yourself where you can make more money, where you're not working so many hours doing strenuous labor. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got it.
Yeah, okay. What's your name again, brother?
Damani.
Cornardi?
Jimani.
No, like no. Like you're saying, the money.
Oh, Demani. Okay, Demani.
Okay, Demani. Okay, listen, man. Grind out, make your money. All right, but never be satisfied with where you at. You're always going to strive to improve, promote, and go from there. Don't be one of these cats that's afraid of success, afraid to move up, afraid to be a supervisor because they don't want to deal with other people. You keep moving up in your jobs. If you don't like that job, work to get another job. Don't leave the job you don't like yet until you get the other job. Okay. If you got 2 jobs, 3 jobs, it doesn't matter. Now, your body does need rest. However, working out helps you. It's going to help you maintain as you go through those jobs. I don't know how old you are, but when you stop working out, the older you get, the harder it is to get back to it the way you want to be.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Yeah, so you should be able to work out. I used to play hoop, go to a job, get off, play hoop, go to football practice, go ahead and work out, man. It's going to help your body out. It's going to help you maintain. You do need some rest, but take your rest when you need your rest and then go from there, man. But grind out. I didn't hear nothing about school in there. So, I don't care if it's a trade school, the driving schools like Zag was talking about or something. You're always going to want to try to improve your position. And you never, I heard this a long time ago, and this kind of lived. You don't dress for your job you have now. You dress for the job, your next job. And that's going to be education. It's going to be what you read. It's going to be how you live your life. You're always going to keep moving and keep growing. At some point, what happens is the amount of time it turns, because you're not going to get away from life without working. Working is just here, So at some point, though, you'll start to work less and make more to balance your life out if you're really doing it how you should be. But nah, man, go to the gym. Keep going to the gym, man. You might not go for 2 days, just go 1 day or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You got to get your time management skills up, caller. Because
no, they're perfect. But my dad and my grandpa were just saying that the gym is a waste of time, and I wanted to really validate that.
No, caller. Don't let people tell you something is a waste of time if that's what one of your passions is. Do your passion, do the thing that you're into. Miles said it perfectly, time management. Also, what you may want to consider doing is just buying a little weight set for the crib, so that way when you can't make it, at least you can get a nice workout in, you know what I'm saying, and, in between your job shifts.
Right. I usually do this. I like working out in the sauna and swimming as well. So the gym got everything I need. But y'all really answered my question. Honestly, thank you. And
yeah, people who older, that's slowing down. They want to say the gym don't, but nah. Keep the gym in your life, man. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it in your life. Trust me. Don't stop going.
Let me say this, and I would never say that working out is a waste of time. That's foolishness. Working out is good for you, right? It really is, right? And the byproduct of working out is you feel better about yourself. You look better in your clothes. They fit you, a little nicer and shit like that. And you might get some attention from women and all that. Stamina in the bedroom. So no, there are definitely a lot of pros to working out. What you cannot do though is allow your penchant for the gym to interfere with your other obligations. You got to work the gym around your obligations, not the other way around.
Understood.
All right. Any other questions?
Nope. Everything is really set. But thank you though.
Okay, you're welcome, man. Appreciate you. Good. Thanks for calling.
Stay focused, my friend.
I can't believe his father and his grandfather told guys, it's not a waste of time. It's not a waste. Like I said, you need to work out. It's a fact that people who work out tend to live a little bit longer life than people who don't, simply because you're more healthy. Right. So and plus with some of the shit that's in these foods, you gotta work, you gotta eat right too. You can't just work out and not eat right, right? You gotta have, a healthy balance with the nutrition and also making sure that you work out, because the cardio is important for your heart.
Right.
Right. It's important for your blood flow. And it can also, if you don't work out, it can also have an impact on your ability to get and maintain an erection because the blood ain't flowing right? So working out is something, even if you don't use the weights, if you're just swimming like he said, because swimming is it's a great workout because you work every muscle in your body. But also it's the cardio of it. You work on your lung capacity, you work on your heart, right? So cardio, if anything, if you don't do weights, at least do the cardio. Like I know Steve the Dean, he was in here earlier. Shout out to him. He'd be on his bike and shit, right? So even if all you did was ride a bike for a couple of miles, that's better than being sedentary and sitting on the fucking couch all goddamn day and watching YouTube videos. Keep watching them. Keep watching them.
And it goes so fast too, man. You don't realize, like when you're younger, you don't think about the intent to work out. I didn't when I was younger because we was always doing something, always playing a game, going to play hoop, pick up ball, or doing something, physical. The older you get, especially, I don't know about everybody else, but when you play a sport, when you finally get done with it, you almost have that moment where you're like, man, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to lift a weight. I don't want to, because of the intensity of it, but you got to find your way back to it. And I don't care if it's lifting the weight or riding a bike, like Zag was saying, or walking or something, you're going to have to do it because a lot of times we don't think about the future. And that's one of the things I will always say, a quality of a man is always have forethought. Think down the line and think down the line for yourself too. Help yourself be healthier. If you have a kids and family, now you got kids that you can play with, to being healthier and so forth on as many years as possible. Because when you stop it, it is very hard to get it back.
Hey, YouTube watcher, that's some real shit when it comes to black men. We be dying of some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So so you got to do something. Like I said, if you're not hitting the weights and you're not necessarily trying to put on muscle, you're just trying to maintain what you got. You know what I'm saying? If you're a slender guy, you're just trying to maintain it, right? Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? I would never tell a guy not to work out. But just understand that your obligations and your responsibilities, that shit need to come first. And you just, the workout shit, you kind of work it in and around all those things right there. We got a couple questions. We good on calls right now?
Yeah, we good on calls right now.
Yeah, come on, call in.
Okay, that was the money. Okay, the money already asked. He already asked that shit. All right. So he says, is the man supposed to pump a female's gas if she's with them, or is this another social condition? Guys. First and foremost, this is what I'll tell you. Do what you want to do. Okay, stop looking at what other people are doing. Stop looking at what society tells you. Now, I'll just tell you what I do. If I'm with a woman and I'm in her car, I'm pumping the gas.
Right.
That's what I do. Right. I don't have no problem getting out the car and pumping the gas. And it has nothing to do with people looking at me funny or her feeling some type of way. That's what I do. Man, she look all pretty. Hey, sit your ass right there. I'll get out and handle this. You know what I'm saying? I got this. By the way, give me your debit card real quick. I'll do that shit.
Hey, in a heartbeat, give me your card.
Give me your card. I'm doing that shit.
We got 917. You are on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K Zag, and we also got Jay Roman and Miles. Name Age City. How can we help you?
Hello, everyone. This is Rickster, 34, actually 33 from Brooklyn, New York.
Rickster, what's going on, man? Long time. What's going on, man?
What up?
Long time, yes. Hello, everyone. I wanted to. I just want. Sorry, I was eating just now, but I just wanted to give in my my story about what happened. That relates to the title, of course.
Okay.
All right, cool. It doesn't have to do with dating or anything like that. Just, all right. So let me tell you what happened. So I was heading to work, I had my suit and everything on because, I'm a security guard. And then I saw an old lady. She seems lost. She has like a suitcase. And I look at the time. I was like, you know what? I have time. Let me just see what's going on. I went to her and I told her, hey, is everything okay? Do you need help? And she was like, oh, thank you. It's just that I'm lost. And then next thing you know, she saw my hat that says security. She was like, oh, you're a security guard, like she's disappointed or something like that. And then I was like, no, I can still help you. I can still help you. Where do you want to go? And she was like, I want to go to this place right there. And I was like, it's just 2 blocks away. And she was like, okay. And then after that, I felt some type of disappointment to myself because 1, I wanted to help the woman, and plus 2, I wanted to like validate myself because I guess I was a nice guy. So basically, the moral of the story is that the moral of the story is that even though you're a nice guy, you still get shared on when you try to help people. That's it.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm a courteous human being, right? I'm courteous. Okay, and what I mean by that is this. I'm holding the door for anybody behind me. Man, woman, child, domestic pet, it don't matter. I'm holding the door, right? So there's been times I held the door. People just walk through that motherfucker. They don't say nothing. They don't say good morning. They don't say thank you. They don't say nothing. They just walk through the door. And there's times I felt to myself, I feel like smacking a motherfucker in the back of the head, right? Or I feel like saying something to that individual. But regardless of how I felt in that moment, I still hold the door open for people that are behind me, right? Not because I'm seeking validation, not because even if you want to be thanked, you're seeking validation, right? I do it because I'm a courteous individual. If I'll hold the elevator, there'll be a dude at the end of the fucking hallway in a wheelchair. If I see him coming, I'm holding the elevator for him, right? Because I'm a courteous human being. Yes, would it be nice to have someone acknowledge your courteousness? Yes, but you should do it just because that's just the type of person you are. You should never expect anything. This is why I say a lot of people really aren't selfless individuals. Everyone is selfish because even when you do something for someone, you're really doing it for yourself because you want something out of it. Okay, is that really being nice? Yeah, I got it.
I mean, the act is nice, but what you want from it, like you said, is selfish. But I'm a type of person that once you, as soon as she told me or looked at me like, "Oh, you just this," then all right, bitch, shit, I'm out. Like I don't extend myself any further. Like I go, and that's just me. Like I'm not, hey, I go to help you, and you look at me like you don't want my help. Fine, I'm out. So I used to like Zach, hold the door and stuff like that, and I still do because that's what I want to do. But it has nothing to do with the thank you or nothing. But if somebody walked by and don't say it, I'd be like, damn, okay, all right. In my head, another thing, you ever go to give somebody directions before you finish talking, they turn around and start to kind of walk away? Right? So you go tell them, hey, hey, where's this at? Oh, it's over. And I stop talking. Like, if you're not going to sit for the whole instructions, I'm not going to give it to you. So sometimes you got to just being nice don't mean you go over the top and have people treat you like any other way. Being nice is just if that's your personality, then cool. But I say don't go over the top. Just so she can say, oh my God, he really, really helped me, even though I shitted on him. Like, nah, that's not my style. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay.
So
right.
it's almost like pumping the gas, right? When let's say you're rolling with a female, you go to pump the gas. Like, I'm with Zach. Let me see your ATM card. Like, I'm more than happy to pump this gas because you won't pump the gas in front of me because I was just raised where you pump the gas. My pops hemmed me up, put me up against the wall because apparently he drove by when my mom was at the gas station. Now, she told me, I got it, don't get out. And I was like, no, Mom. But she's like, no, just sit there. But he seen me. And as soon as I stepped into the door, he slammed me up the door and said, I don't want to ever see my woman pumping gas. You think I want her hands coming back smelling like gas? And that's the first time I kind of like, your woman, that's my mom, but yeah, it's his woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I pump gas. It doesn't matter who I'm with. If I'm in your car, I pump gas. Now, that don't mean I'm paying for the gas, though.
That's where the line is drawn. I draw the line at paying for your shit. Yeah.
So my point is, be who you are if you're a nice person, but don't be too nice when you get stepped on.
Okay. Now let me say this real quick. Here's my caveat: if I'm borrowing a woman's car, then I'm gonna pay for it. I'll fill the shit up. Yeah. If I'm borrowing her shit, but if we ride in her whip, when I get out, I'm gonna roll the window down. Yo, let me get that. Let me get that. Oh, what's the pin? And I'm gonna go ahead and use your shit, but I'm pumping it though. Yeah.
Borrowing her car, man. If I borrowed the gas too, you coming back empty. Just you let me borrow everything.
This nigga said I borrowed. Nah, I'm putting gas in that motherfucker.
I'm messing.
All right, caller. Anything else, brother?
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it. I just want to say thank you guys for allowing me to tell my story, and all I gotta do is just change my mindset, not to be over the top to anybody.
Yeah. Caller, if you see someone that's in need of assistance and you are able to assist them. But don't do it because you're looking for something. Do it just because you're able to do it, and leave it at that.
Right. I definitely will. Thank you guys.
Right,
I appreciate y'all. I still watch y'all, so I just want to say thank you guys. You guys dropped so much gems. Hope you guys have a great Saturday.
All right. You too, bro.
All right, cool.
All right.
So are we good on calls, Miles?
Yeah, we're good on calls for now.
Okay, let me address this real quick. He says a lot of red pill guys will tell you holding the door is beta. Okay. Here's the problem with a lot of red pill advice. A lot of these guys who say shit like this, they only do things to try and get pussy. And when those things don't work, then they come to the internet and tell you guys, don't do this anymore. So when you have guys that tell you don't validate women, don't compliment women, don't hold the door, don't pull out chairs, the reason why they're telling you this is because they did all of these things and they didn't get no pussy out of it. And they feel some type of way because they only did it believing that it would curry favor with the woman that would lead to them getting some sex. And they feel some type of way. This is why, guys, and it goes back to the title. Men, stop trying to impress women. Stop doing things for women with the expectation you're going to get something out of it. Stop doing shit for women. Do shit for you. And if you got a woman in mind and you want to include her, cool. But you're doing it for you. Jay Roman, you said it earlier. If I'm going somewhere and I want to invite a woman along with me, I'm inviting her along with me. Either she wants to go or she don't. But stop doing shit for women. Here's the thing. If you have a woman in your life who's your girl, your fiance, or your wife, and she's been holding it down, right? She's been doing what's required of her, and you want to reward her with something, and you want to be like, you know what? I'm going to order some flowers and some goddamn cake pops and have them sent to her job, because she's been on point. Cool. Because I've done shit like that, right? But that's because she's on point and she's your girl. She's earned that type of gesture. You're not just doing it because she's a chick you want to fuck or a chick you've been fucking. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I don't,
we do got some questions though.
A lot of let's get to the questions because you already kind of took care of that.
Oh, hold on, let me get this real quick. So stepping down with the 999 says appreciate the game. It's been a shift focusing internally versus externally, but standing on myself, my core values, and ethically standards, rewarding. No lag on my part, guys.
A little bit.
Yeah, it seemed like you couldn't read. But
okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna pop up this question and y'all can answer it, and then I'm gonna hop back in.
All right. So Devontae says, should I be concerned about a woman body count if I'm trying to wife up? Go ahead, J-Room.
I mean, we keep going back to this body count thing. That's not my concern. My concern is how she treats me.
Yeah.
How she's going to treat me. Does she follow my directions, instructions? Does she You know, does she have all the stuff, the values, the morality, the things that I want her to display if we're in a relationship? Outside of that, before we got together, I don't know. I personally ask questions for my own reasons. And it ain't got to do with shaming the body count. It more has to do with, me catching something. So my main questions is about, catching something, and then habits. And I'm not talking about, oh, you like to get it in. My thing is, if you've been in a relationship, how is your behavior when it comes to that sort of thing? Now, if that's all good, I don't care what you was doing without, before you met me and before we are communicating where we're headed to, where I feel like we should head to, right? So, a lot of times you guys want to meet a woman and you want everything that she's doing to stop without even any communication, without saying nothing and all this other stuff. So, I'm not, the body count thing ain't my thing.
You know what? This is what I want someone to do. I want someone to show me from a practical or logical perspective how a woman's sexual past impacts you if she ain't got no disease that she can't get rid of. I want someone to show me, right? Because this is what guys like to do. They like to bring up the promiscuity of women or a woman's body count. Then they like to try and put logic to it, but they're really coming from a vantage point of their feelings and emotions. Okay, and this is what I want guys to do. All you body count niggas, I just want you to say this. I'm worried about the body count because I'm worried about being compared to a man that fucked her better than I probably could. I'm worried about a body count because I'm worried about a guy having a larger penis than me. I'm worried about a body count because I think she's gonna cheat, right? And I just want to know, in the history of mankind, where has it ever been proven that a woman's sexual past, as far as how many lovers she's had, is an indicator of whether or not she could be faithful? Where has that ever been proven? Okay, let me tell this real quick story, then I'm gonna move on from this. Well, before I tell the story, let me say this. The problem with you body count niggas is you're reducing a woman's value to sex.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You're literally saying a woman's body count matters so much that it don't matter if she's a good woman to me. It doesn't matter if she's submissive, if she's doing everything that I ask of her. I'm so caught up on what she may or may not have done sexually, all I can look at is that. All I can place value in is the sex, to the point where you throw the whole woman away because of sex, right? Let me say this. Let me tell this real quick story, right? I'm related to an individual, and I'm trying to keep his identity under wraps, right? I don't want to embarrass the youngin', right? But I'm related to an individual. When we were in high school, right, I had already graduated. He was a year behind me. He had a girlfriend that graduated the same time I graduated, right? So during the summertime, right around August, which is when the new the college students report to college in August. Now, I'm a teenager, mind you. I tell this individual, I said, yo, you might want to end the relationship. He's like, why would I break up? We're in love. I said, let me tell you what's going to happen to you. I said, she's going to go to college. I said, no offense, but you're kind of scrawny. You look like a boy. She's going to go to college. She's going to get around them football players, because she was going to UT in Austin, University of Texas. I'm like, she's going to get around them football players, them fraternity niggas, and she's going to see some grown men. And she's going to forget all about you like that, right? This is what I'm telling them. Now, this is his girlfriend. They've been together for like 2 years, right? They both had sex with each other for the first time. The first time he had sex was with her and vice versa. So he took her virginity, right? So as far as I know, he was the only guy sexually he'd been with. This was August, mind you. 2 months later in October, he calls her dorm room. Ring, ring, ring. A nigga answered the phone. Yeah, what's up? He asked for his girl. Oh, she's asleep right now. Right? Woo. So I said all that to say this. And shout out to Jay Holiday because he put her to bed. Shout out to this. I just want to say this. Even though this woman had sex one time with a boyfriend, the individual I'm related to, she still cheated. Until all it took was 2 months. But I called it. I told him 2 months prior it was going to happen. It doesn't matter if a woman had one lover or 100 lovers. You can never predict when a woman is gonna step out on you. You niggas are worried about the wrong thing. But y'all got it.
The answer to
We
your
done with this question? Yeah, go ahead, Miles.
The answer to your question, Devontae, is no. We go to the next one if you're ready. Sometimes he's a high profile says sometimes I feel like certain women will get digmatized if I fuck them, and they will be clingy. So I don't. Am I tripping?
No, you ain't tripping. I don't think you tripping until you learn the art of half stroke. You know, you might have that issue.
He said half stroke.
Nah, because I mean, I had a few stalkers my damn self, and
me too, bro.
It was my fault. It was my fault. You know, trying to do too much too fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes that's the thing about manhood, and I really hate that. You know, a lot of guys, y'all don't really get it when these brothers been on these shows for a long time talking about it's really about you. Discipline is part of it. You know what you could do, but this is new. Just like every woman I've ever, you know, we were supposed to just bump and be friends. All of a sudden, I'm having a discussion with them on how come we can't be in, you know, where we at. You know, one woman told me you shouldn't fuck people like that if you know you ain't gonna be with them and stuff. So, nah, man, half stroke. Learn how to half stroke. Learn how to, you know, don't jump from the top rope every time.
So my thing is, you don't got to break out your tool belt, your whole tool belt. Sometimes the fill-ups and the monkey wrench is good enough. You ain't got to bring the jackhammer. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, though. I'm not concerned with a woman getting digmatized. It's gonna happen. it's gonna happen. So I'm just saying. It's not gonna happen with every woman. But knowing me, it's gonna happen with some women. I'm not concerned with her becoming digmatized. Here's the thing: if you're consistent about what you do with women, and you don't intentionally mislead women, you ain't got too much to worry about, right? So if you're the type of guy where you dicking them down and you're spending the night with them, you're taking showers with them, you open yourself up for all types of drama then at that point, right? But if you just dicking them down and all they get is dick. Look, I've had chicks, and he said it right here. I've had chicks that sometimes you can fuck them too good where they don't want to fuck with you no more because they can't get more of you. Right, I've had chicks call me selfish, you know what I'm saying? Call me an asshole, call me a selfish bastard because they wanted me to fuck them every day of the week damn near. And I'm like, nah, chick, one day a week, maybe twice at the most. And they wanted to always be up under a brother, you know what I'm saying, getting dick down. And I'm like, nah. So I had certain chicks get mad and they just stopped fucking with me because they felt like I was teasing them and I wasn't breaking them off enough, right? So, but shit like that happens from time to time. You can't really worry about it. Just understand, if you know for a fact, go ahead, Miles.
Okay, all right, we got 929. You're on live on the Manhood is a Skill Set Show. We got your host, K-Zag, J. Roman, and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Hey, my name is Matthew, 23 years old.
All right, Matthew.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's
shout
going
out,
on?
Shout out to K-Zag, J. Roman. I wanted to ask, how do you just disclosure, I am a virgin, just to let y'all know. But I also caught into the Steve show too. I'm not sure if K-Zag remember. But anyway, I want to ask, how do you stop pedestalizing women? Like, how do you stop viewing women as a brother? You stop pedestalizing sex and stuff.
One, brother, how old are you?
23.
23. All right. And you ain't had no taste of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I had the chance, like different chances, but I always end up pitching out. Yeah, I also got an obsession, addiction to masturbation and watching porn and shit. So that makes it worse. So,
man, who told you to make it worse, man?
Now I know it makes it worse because I've been doing this since I was a kid. So I know personally. I'm not sure if for y'all or everybody else, but I know me personally, it makes it worse because, like I said,
how does it make it worse? How does it make it worse?
Basically, Well, number one, it drains my energy. It lowers my confidence, which I don't really have in the first place.
Wait. Let's break that. Let's break that down. Cause I'm really tired of hearing this thing about porn. Right, the $1 million business industry that everybody watches, and then some people be like, "Oh, it's going to ruin you." Like, how does it make it worse for you?
Right. So, well, I have a different perspective because I'm a virgin. I never actually had sex. So, me watching porn is an urge to me to want to have sex. But me watching porn makes it worse because it puts me away from actually having sex. And it makes me, I'm watching guys fuck women and all this other shit. And it just makes it more of like a far out type of thing. So,
okay, well, let's listen to this. Listen to this, man. I want you to listen to something first, man. All right, because right now I'm hearing a lot of stuff that you can change, but it seemed like you don't realize you can change it. Number one, I watched porn since I was 7 years old. Lots of it. I mean, lots of it. And yeah, it made me want to have sex. I think that's natural from watching something. Just like if I watch a lot of football, it made me want to play some football. But I still had to go out there and play football. I didn't go out there and be like, well, I watched it on TV. I want to play it, but watching on TV is good enough. To me, that's a mindset. It's a cop-out, right? Like the real solution and the real issue ain't you watching porn, bro. Okay, you watched it. You watched it. You want to have sex. Now, if you feel like it's hindering you, then why are you still watching it?
That's the question I ask myself.
Yeah. So caller, it's not porn. Like Jay Roman said, I've been looking at dirty magazines since I was 7. I remember being in a store and we would get like a comic book and then put the dirty magazine inside, and a lady would come up and would be like, "Aren't y'all too young to be looking at that stuff?" And we would say, "We're midgets." You know what I'm saying? We would say we're adults, but we just happen to be small. Right? We would say that shit, right? But we were introducing that shit young. So I would say porn actually helped me helped me a little bit with my sex game, to the point when I had sex for the first time as a teenager, the young lady I had sex with, she had no clue that it was my first time because of the porn that I had been watching. So, I'm not telling guys watch porn so you can get better at it. I'm just telling you, for me, how it worked for me, right? So it ain't porn. It ain't porn, caller. You're just afraid to go up to women and say what you really want to say. That's really the problem.
Yeah.
Now you're an undisciplined man because you're letting something that like a lot of times earlier Zach mentioned something about self-esteem, and I was going to mention it then. Like some of these cats, I don't think they have low self-esteem. I think they're just been conditioned by society to always put this woman first, to always come pandering and running behind her. So they don't know no better. But as soon as they know better, then it's up to you as a man to do better. So if you know this is an issue for you, then stop the issue and stop using it as an excuse because you're scared to just go say hi.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. I understand that. And I got one more question. So when K Zach was just talking about like the first time, so like I said, I never had sex, right? So like how do you get over like making like how do you stop making like false or negative assumptions? Like how do you just stop like negative thinking towards like your first time having sex and shit like that? Like,
bro, okay, caller. I had no negative thinking whatsoever. So I can't really tell you how to get over that because I had no negative. I was ready to make it happen. I was a little excited about it, right? So I had your issue is I think your nervousness is tied to maybe some insecurities that you might have. I think it's tied together, right? So let me ask you a question, and I need for you to think about this. Are you insecure about anything?
Oh yeah, I'm insecure about a lot of stuff.
There you go. So you need to figure out what exactly it is you're insecure about, and you need to figure out where it stems from so you can eradicate that part of your mind. And I agree. He needs coaching. I think you need some coaching, brother.
Yeah.
And you do know sex is a two individual thing, right?
Yeah, it's 2 men over there, nigga. It ain't 2 men over here.
It ain't 2 men over here. I'm just, it ain't just you, right? It's
right.
so you can deem to do everything perfect and still not get the result that you may want. So you're putting a lot of pressure on something that, for half of it you can't control. Because you may want to have sex, but maybe that person don't want to have sex with you. So my thing is, like, I think you're pinpointing sex, but I bet you there's something insecure about work, something insecure about some other things that you need to work on.
Let me ask you a question. Are you insecure about what you think your performance would be like? Are you insecure about sex itself?
Right. Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Okay, bro. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb. No pun intended. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't know if you're getting too caught up with what you're seeing in porn, and you're comparing yourself to certain things you're seeing, and you're wondering if you're gonna be able to measure up when you actually get into that situation. So I would say that if there are certain things about porn that are making you insecure about your own self sexually, maybe you should stop watching porn.
Right.
So I think you know what I'm getting at. I don't want to have to say it.
No, but nobody can do that for you. You got to do it for yourself. You're 23 years old. You sitting here letting us know you self-diagnosed yourself, and this is your issue. Well, if you self-diagnosed yourself and that's the issue, well, stop the issue. Right? And nobody can control that but you. Do you need tips on stopping the issue? Zach said, hey, stop watching it. It's either watch it or don't watch it, right? It's not like there's a lot of stuff to do. Like, it's everywhere. It's on your phone. It's on TV. Like, you can't get away from it. So it's up to you to just say, hey, I ain't gonna watch this. But truthfully, you do know outside of sex, right? There's a conversation with the individual. Do you even speak to a lot of women?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. And when I do talk to them, it's like very passive and.
Well, because caller, I need you to, and real quick, shout out to LeBron for the 25. Good topic, fellas. Appreciate you. Caller, see, this is what's probably going on. Okay, and again, I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark on this. What's probably going on is, in conjunction with other things you're insecure about, you're watching porn and you're looking at certain things, and you're like, hey, goddamn, I ain't working with all of that. Damn, I wonder if I have sex for the first time. Did a woman experience all of that? Because I'm not coming with that. So I think when you deal with women in your subconscious mind, even though it might not be on your mind consciously when you're talking to women, subconsciously it's already embedded in your subconscious thoughts. So when you talk to women, you already have these things that are defeating you, right? It's already a point of contention with you in your mind. So that might be preventing you from really saying what you want to say. That might prevent you from being more comfortable and present in the interaction because you're worried about this shit that ain't got nothing to do with the woman that's in front of you.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like you said, along with the other stuff too.
But bro, no one can help you overcome that. Even if you got coaching. Now, if you got coaching, we can kind of get to all the things you're insecure about specifically, because y'all got to remember, coaching is tailored to your specific struggles. That's what coaching really does. Is because right now we're generalizing a lot of different things based on, and maybe you can relate to it or not. But coaching, we can really hone in to what your specific issues are, and then we can seek to help you with those things. But y'all got it.
All right, caller.
All right, I appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother. All right. So we got 503. You're on live with the Manhood is the Skill Set show. We got K Zaggin, Jay Roman, and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help?
Hey, what's happening, guys? My name is BJ. I'm 32. I'm in Portland.
All right, what's going on? 32 Portland. What's going on, bro?
I got a question. My question is, how do I stop? How do I stop overextending myself? And I can give detail whenever you guys ask.
Hold on 1 second. We already got LeBron. Okay, he said good topic. All right. How do you? What's the context? Go ahead. How do you stop from overextending yourself? Go ahead.
So I got these jobs. So I got a job that I work at that I'm not too happy with. Of course, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of the job, and I'm trying to find other jobs to get into. But a lot of the jobs that I've been finding are usually like 2.5 hours away. I don't drive anymore, so by bus it's like 2.5 hours away. I had an interview today that I was just like, man, this is too far. Like it's too far, and I was like, I'm already working at a job where it's 2 hours away from me, and I'm gonna go try to get an interview at a job where it's another 2 hours, probably actually a little longer than the first route. And I'm overextending myself. I'm like, this is a lot. I'm going all the way out of the way when I can try to find something closer, but there is nothing closer. But I have this thing about me. I try to always force myself or push myself to do things that are a little past my means.
Okay, caller, real quick. Okay, when you talk about overextend, see, the only time you can truly overextend yourself is when you doing shit you don't need to do. But maybe you are a people pleaser. But if you got to find a job and you got to get to that money, you got to do this. Not overextending yourself. You're doing what you got to do, right? So sometimes it's unfortunate that maybe you have to do shit that's quote unquote inconvenient or uncomfortable. But as a man, okay, you can never be too comfortable in this world. You got to do what you got to do, right? Because here's the reality of it. How do you, brother? How old are you, brother?
32.
I'm 32.
Okay, look, I'm gonna give you some real truth. If you would have made different decisions with your education, you may have been in a position where you didn't have to work so far away, where you could have got a better paying jobs closer that would be giving you the money that you require, where you don't need two jobs to make the ends meet if you would have made different decisions. But because you are where you are right now, you got to do what you got to do. But y'all got it.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to get like two. I'm not trying to get like two. I'm trying to like switch the one I got, because the one I got, it's a toxic environment. You know what I mean? It's a lot of chicks there, a lot of passive aggression, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of bad leadership, and it's a lot of chicks that are under that program, and I'm not comfortable there. It's not working out for me. Plus, with the overextending, it's me picking up a bunch of extra shifts and like them showing like the ungratefulness behind like the asking. So I would do it.
Okay.
Well, you know.
Okay.
I'm
Caller. If you're getting paid for those extra shifts, that's your gratitude right there. Do you need someone to pat you on the back and say thank you? You're working so hard. The money is your gratitude. The money is the appreciation.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like I don't like confusion and chaos, and I work in an environment with a lot of confusion and chaos in the family. But I still push myself forward to like do stuff.
Hey, BJ, like this is a wow moment. Like this is the violin, right? And you got to understand, as a man, we grind. Yeah, as a man, we grind out. We do things that's uncomfortable. We work in places, and we got to realize everything that we've done previously has led us to this moment. So steps made, good, bad, whatever, has got you to this moment. You don't like the job, you work it until you apply for a different job. You go to the interview, you get the job, you quit that job you don't like, and you go to the next one. But I'm hearing a lot of outside influences makes your day. Like, you know, oh, there's chaos at work, and the ladies and this. You are the North. So when you come into work, the way you act, you'll start to see the influence around you where people say, oh, okay, you know, when you talk to them clearly, hey, I need this, by this time, by that time. Can you do that for me? Yes, thank you. And then you go do your job. Like, I don't understand. Like, to me, I work well with everybody because I'm always the same person. I like to do a good job for me. I don't care about my boss. Sometimes my boss say, hey, you ain't got to take care of that. No, I said I'll take care of it, so I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
Is he gonna extra thank me? He ain't gonna extra thank me. He ain't gonna extra pay me. But that's just how I like to get things done. So when I go, I know, hey, I did everything I could do there. I ain't tripping. So at some point, you got to be like, hey, I'm going to be this type of employee for me as I work to something I really want to do. Like, yeah, I understand. They don't show the appreciation. All right, well, that's the job you took. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it. So work to get a different job. Get the different job and then go from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
so yeah, caller. You have to make personal sacrifices. There is nothing in this life that you can get without making personal sacrifices, and that's what you got to do. Now, I don't know if you ever been to college or trade school, but that's something you might want to look at if you want to put yourself in a more advantageous position to actually get jobs that maybe pay better and maybe are closer to where you live.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Because technically, I'm an EMT, but like the job that I had, I ended up losing that job, so I had to downgrade and I had to move and leave my place. So I'm trying to get into an EMT program and pay for it's like $3K. So I got to like save up the money and go all the way out to Arizona to do this. What is it, like a hybrid EMT course for 2 weeks, and I get my license. But
hey, don't do the don't listen to this, man. Double check classes to become a firefighter because most firefighters have to do EMT. So, as you go to become and do an EMT, check the classes to be a firefighter and go there because long time ago they realized that the majority of firefighter calls were actually medical calls. And so they started integrating the ambulance and things like that at the firehouse. And so a lot of firefighters are actually EMTs. And it's not that much more. Check out the academy there because to go to the firefighter academy, a lot of times they want you to have your EMT or be an EMT. So, start looking for stuff. If that's what you're interested in, start looking for the jobs that actually really pay. Because I used to work as an EMT. They pay, but they don't pay that great. Become a firefighter with the EMT thing. Like, start looking ahead. The thing is, you can't grind and then complain about the grind. It just is what it is. Like it don't change. Like you put yourself in the position, you gotta, I don't care if it's in the mud, you gotta dig yourself out the mud and go from there. And the thing is, it's not something that nobody else has done. Like I'm quite sure all these brothers had to have some setbacks and do something, but then hey, you just one step at a time, grind it out and go from there. I went from a house to an apartment before, like, a nice house.
Bro, look, let me tell you something. I've had to stick my foot in the mud and pivot multiple times. But you always have to have a plan for yourself. You have a short-term plan just to make sure you can put a roof over your head and feed yourself. But then you start to draft out a long-term plan, and then you start to execute that step by step by step. Like Jay Roman said, you say you live in Chicago, right?
No, I live in Portland.
Oh, Portland. Okay, so you might have to like if you try to apply for a firefighter position in Portland, they might not necessarily be hiring. So you might need to go to one of those surrounding towns and take a position there, and then when Portland is hiring again, come back.
Do you have mouths to feed right now? Do you have mouths to feed right now?
Technically, yeah, I do.
Technically,
I don't know what technically means, man.
Yeah, I have a 2-year-old, but he stays with his mom. I visitation.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother thing too. But I'm gonna say this, man. Like when you grind, you're You grind with your family and thought in mind. Because if you create it and have somebody that you're responsible for, the wow moment and they don't care about that. They don't understand it because they look at you as a man. And so with that responsibility, you have to show that, hey, whatever it is, I got it and I'll take care of us. So I'm gonna grind this out. There's times I work 3 jobs. I got 2 hours of sleep grinding it out. And I got fired from the third one because I was sleeping at work.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
So yeah, but you grind it out. I don't understand. The world doesn't promise us a good result for every action that we do. You could be the best person and still get the shittiest job. Like the world doesn't promise us anything. You just got to keep going, keep going, grind it out.
But look, and Carla, look, I had a job where my main job, I was working from 8 to 5 in the afternoon, from 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. My second job was from 6 to 10. So I literally had an hour between jobs. So literally I would get up at about maybe 7 o'clock in the morning to go to the first gig. By the time the second gig was over and I got home, it was after 11. Right? So you know, that's a long ass fucking day. But I had to do that because at the time I needed to stack my money so I can get a crib, right? Because me and my ex at the time, the mother of my 2 other children, I had broke up with her and we had parted ways, and I wasn't really in the best financial position to do what I wanted to do, right? So I had to get a crib, and I let her keep everything. When I left, I let her keep all of the furniture because she had my babies. So what I look like taking shit with me, right? So I let her keep everything. So my mind was, I'm gonna let her keep everything, so that way she ain't got to work as hard to do what she got to do, and I'll be the one to take the hit, right? Where I got to grind from square one and build everything back up again, right? Now, if she didn't have my kids, it would have been completely different. Because she had my babies, I'm like, hey, I don't want you to struggle. I'll make the personal sacrifices I need to make, so that way it's easier for you simply because you got the babies, right? But boom, here I am working these 2 jobs. Grinding. I just gotta do what I gotta do. But here I'm grinding, and I put myself in such a great, wonderful position that I came to her a couple of years later and said, hey, because now I put myself in a position where I was able to get a house built, 5-bedroom crib, right? So I went from living in a little apartment to a 5-bedroom crib like 4 years later. So I'm like, let me get the kids now, because I'm in this position to do shit for them that you can't. So I end up getting custody of my kids. But that started from me letting her have everything, me starting from ground zero and building everything back up and putting myself in such a position.
What I'm trying to do. That is exactly what my plan is. Like I'm living with, I got roommates now. I got an apartment and I got roommates, and now I'm like, all right, I just want to save up so I can get money and get a house pretty soon. But I need a better gig. But yeah, I want to be able to get into a position where I can be the sole provider, and she's like, all right, I got no problem with you being able to do X, Y,
You need a plan. You need a plan. Getting a job, getting to money, all that is well and good, but you need a plan so you don't run yourself ragged and get frustrated where you lose sight of the plan. But y'all got it.
Yeah, I'm quite sure everybody can, tell a story of how bad it's been. But the same thing is consistency of all the qualities and traits of a man is that be consistent, grind it out. Don't be afraid of hard work and go from there. I mean, I don't know if you needed, a kick, a pat in the back or something, but, you're complaining about something that's like, you shouldn't complain about. Get a plan, get moving, and start your steps and go from there. Like, that's just,
no, you're really right.
It is what it is, man. It just, we're grown men. That's just how it goes. You want you want the position of leadership. You want the position of where we're at. Then you gotta go. You gotta work. There's no stop working, and that's the problem. Where you find a lot of cats, they want to stop working when they think they're settled. It's never settled. You always got to be consistent. You always got to work. You always got to grind. So
yeah, and
I tell you, man,
let me
keep it up.
yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah, and let me add this. You just need a vision for your life because a lot of guys they just get jobs. Well, I need a job, and they just get a job. All right, that's all well and good, but you need a bigger vision than just getting a job and just working for a paycheck. You need a vision for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a big picture for me, and I don't think I see it yet. But like it's it's a big picture. Like I know it's a big picture. Like this, all of this shit is a means to an end because there's a bigger goal at hand. I just
What's that mean? Big picture,
like,
man.
I'm navigating through so much shit, and it's like I'm trying to stay focused at the same time, but it get frustrated a little bit. It does.
Listen, you say the word navigate and big picture, it makes it seem like it's out of your control. Like, look, you like Zach is saying, you get a plan. What do you want to do, and then you go from there. Like you can't. Your reaction is good, cool. You can react. Now it's time to go on offense. It's time to prepare and make your actions work toward whatever you're going to. And you can't wait for the pitcher to come down and drop you, hit you in the face. It ain't gonna do that. You're gonna be working toward something and working toward that, and maybe you get there, but then maybe something else comes along, and you're like, "Oh, I could do that," and then you do that. But you got to have a plan to go forward first to work before anything else happens. Like, people lie all the time. I was sitting there and one glorious morning, I realized I wanted to be a doctor. Like, nah, people work towards stuff and then things change their direction, but they're already working. So you pick something, pick a plan,
and let me
start going toward that. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, the women say this. You said you're 32 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck around and let 40 catch you and you still trying to figure it out. It'll be on you before you know it, bro. Trust me. I was 32 one time, bro. It'll be on you before you know it. And then you look and you look at all the years that passed by and you feel like I ain't done shit with this time.
Let me ask you a question, man. And look, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but how did you figure fucking a bitch raw when you ain't really had all this other shit figured out yet? I'm just saying. Or did you not figure it? You just did it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I'm man enough to admit that. Yeah.
Sweet velvet, gotcha.
I just wanted to ask that because it's like it kind of goes unsaid so many times. Like niggas is not in control of where they put their sperm. You understand? Like,
no, I understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it is what it is. I'm here now, and I'm trying to like.
Right. That's why I said
yeah.
I mean, we already here now, so I'm not trying to like, it's things in life we can't change. But I was just wondering, you know what I'm saying? And for anybody else listening to you, I just want them to understand that, like, you got all these things going on in your life, and then then you technically got a mouth to feed, like a child. Like I think as men, we deserve a little bit more. We should respect ourselves more to make a plan for our family for real. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I've had the plan. There's so many like steps in between, and what I work in healthcare, and I mean, mentality wise, like you got to be strong and tough for that shit. But a lot of people burn out doing that shit, and I've burnt out multiple times, and it caused a lot of setbacks. You know what I mean? Because and I work in a facility where it's like I have to beat people's brain 24 hours a day, or at least 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that shit's taxing. It's mentally taxing. You know what I mean?
To Miles' point,
but like
yeah, but caller to Miles' point. This is what a lot of guys have to understand. When you bring a child into this world, it's not just a financial situation. It's a mental and emotional situation, right? Where you got the mouth to feed. So if you're not prepared for the undertaking of it, it can be a mental and emotional taxing on you because you're worried. Because now you have worry that you didn't have before, right? So to Miles' point, caller, hey, look. I had 2 children by the time I was 27, right? With the mother, right? So when I was 22, I was okay. When I was 27 and I was having my eldest son, I'm looking at the situation like, fuck. This is not an ideal situation for me, but like Jay Roman said, you know, you run up in it raw, it's feeling good to you, you know what I'm saying? Instead of you know, making sure that you don't fuck up, you just go with the flow because it feels good, and before you know it, you skeeting away, shooting the club up, and then she's telling you, "Oh, I'm late," and you're like, "Ah, here we go." Right? But you're in that situation where you're not really financially in a prime position where you can weather that storm. Where you're like, "I got it, I'm good." Now you find yourself hustling, you know what I'm saying, trying to make, you know, moves to put yourself in a better financial position because you wasn't there yet. But y'all got it.
Right. So let's get off the phone with this. All right, because I feel like we're gonna talk in circles and we're trying to really help you out here. So number one, when you go to work, don't get caught up in the pettiness, don't get caught up in the gossiping, don't get caught up in all this cattiness that the ladies are doing. Just grind out the job. Do it to the best of your ability and go home. That's it.
Yep.
Don't do the extra stuff if you don't feel like doing the extra stuff. Because I'll tell you right now, like somebody told me, that job will survive without you. It will continue.
Yeah.
It's funny how the work always gets done. So my thing is, if you can't do the extra stuff, then don't do the extra stuff. Go home. Go do something that's going to productively help your plan out. So you make your plan. Okay, I don't want to be in this job no more. Don't leave the job yet. I get tired of people. Oh, I quit because I didn't want that job. You don't sound much of a worker. So my thing is, you grind it out, you find your next job, and you keep going toward your plan. And that's it. Like, you know, mental fortitude is what we got to have as men. We got to be not only physically but mentally tough. And I think sometimes we kind of we're adapting the society's thing of whining and complaining, and because everybody says, oh, if you release it, it'll help you better, you know, release it. It used to be where a guy would keep all his stuff inside and he would die later on, and people will find out, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know Pops had that going on. I didn't know Pops was doing that. I didn't know, because at that moment it wasn't about I need to cry and release. It was about I need to continue to grind and go from there. And I understand some people like, oh, people, you know, they commit suicide and do all this. You know, I just feel like there's too much of the yah. Let's express instead of, hey, let's learn how to get mentally fortitude in our heads where we can take a hit and keep going. We can take a hit and keep grinding.
Right.
So my thing is like, hey, they caddy at work. Who cares, man? You be you. You work, you to be the best employee you can be for yourself, and then you leave that job, you go home, you get your rest, you study your book, you figure out your classes, you go to your next step, you go from there, you see your daughter. I know every time I see my little ones, man, that gives me an energy because they don't care how bad my day is. They come running up to me, Dad. So, you know, whatever you got to do to get that mental toughness on, do that, make your plan, and go from there.
So, Carla, you good though? You straight though? Cause we been giving you a hella game and shit.
Even though I'm just sticking out at the job that I got, and then I'm gonna plan bigger. So instead of shooting for little small little shit, I'm just gonna shoot higher. So I'm gonna stick with the job.
Right, there you go. Get you a vision and execute the steps.
Yeah, you got to vision the steps too. You can't.
Hold on, say that one more time. I didn't catch that.
I said, make sure you have a vision for yourself and execute the steps that you need to execute to see that vision come to fruition.
Absolutely. I can do that. I appreciate all three of y'all.
And I'm gonna break. Hold on a second before you go. Let me break this down because Zag, he can't. I don't want him to do it at all. When you have your vision and say you want to be a firefighter and you go through the steps on how to become that, you also have to go through the steps of how to set yourself up to be put in position to go to school for it, to figure out the money, to figure out the time, all the steps you need to have planned out. See, a lot of people make the mistake of saying, I want to be this. And they say, okay, to be that, I got to go to school. Well, there's a lot more that you need to do before that. Okay, I might need to make this amount of money before I can go to school. I might need to change and say, okay, I can't pick her up around this time. Can I do this? Like, you got to make sure all your steps are aligned toward the direction you want to go.
All right, there you have it. All right, caller, appreciate you calling, brother.
All right, caller, appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling the show.
Appreciate y'all.
And good
y'all
luck
have a
to
good
you, bro.
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
So we got a question here. Let's grab it. So Ted says, how do you not show your emotions around a woman? Guys, what do y'all? Everyone has emotions. Sadness, happiness, anger, jubilance, whatever you want to call it. We all have emotions. It's not about not showing your emotions. It's about not allowing your emotions to control you and making decisions mainly motivated by those emotions.
Right.
Right. If I'm around a woman and she sees that I'm happy, I'm showing emotions. If I'm a happy motherfucker and she sees it, why would I want to hide that? Okay. So it's not about not showing your emotions. But I will tell you what you should not be doing. You should not be venting to your woman. You should not be dumping all of your feelings on your woman. Women are not built to handle that.
Facts.
They're not. Okay. And let me just say this about women, right? For the most part, women deal with women deal with stress harder than we do, right? So you got to understand that women have their own set of emotions that they're dealing with. They're stressed out because of what's going on at their jobs or what's going on with their personal lives. Why would you want to dump all your shit on a woman? You shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that, right? So that's my best answer I can give you. Y'all want to, tackle that shit.
And another thing I'll say too is, men and women are not the same. So, and shout out to Steve the Dean, the man mindset in the chat. He says, "No, Ted, be who you are without game. You'll always show that side." Oh, I think he's talking to somebody in the chat. All right. Oh no, he's talking to Ted right here. He said, "No, Ted, be who you are without game. You'll always show that side." I guess he's saying if you without game, you'll always be emotional. But here's what I'll say. Like you see, you have to realize too that men do things with purpose, right? So that means if we're gonna show our emotions, it has to be for a purpose. And the reason why it don't make sense you get emotional around a woman is because a woman can't really solve your problems. Yeah, if you're gonna get emotional, let it be for a reason, right? So what would be the purpose? Like, what would be the actual reason to get emotional around a woman? You get what I'm saying? Like, is she going to help you figure out your problems? And is it emotions that are going to solve your problems, or actually figuring out your problems and then actually taking action to solve them? That's going to solve your problems. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's not that men don't have emotions, but the thing is that we have to move with purpose, and simply showing emotions just for the sake of showing emotions is not what men do. You understand? If we feel something, let it be inspiration to actually fix the issue, not just to be emotional for the sake of being emotional, because we're not women. Women, exercise their emotional state or their emotional dynamics because that's what women do. Men, we use emotion as motivation in order to help us fix the problem.
There you have it. I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. There you have it.
The question even separates it, like,
yeah, because we're men. We're solution based, right?
Right.
I don't. Okay, you shouldn't. A lot of guys, because I hear guys all the time that want to lean on women, and I question whether or not you niggas got mommy issues or not. Like I really do. I question whether or not maybe you came up in a single, a mother raised household, and your mother was maybe a little too hard. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because the father wasn't there, she had to handle the disciplinarian role, and maybe she wasn't as nurturing as you would have loved. So now you're out here looking for women to play that position because you didn't get it from mommy and shit. Like, and I'm not saying that's you, but I know for a fact there are guys out here right now. They are looking for mother in women. They're looking. I want a woman who's going to nurture me and I can lean on when I had a rough day at work. I can go lay on the bed and just lay on her shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Because I had such a rough day at work and shit. Like guys, you are a man, right? That's one guys to understand that you are a man. Okay, don't lean on your woman necessarily for emotional support and all that other shit. And I'm not saying your woman can't be there for you, but don't be looking for mommy in women. Please don't do that. Right? You're gonna run that woman off. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: women are always looking for us to lean on. Okay, women are looking for us to be their rock, which, in my opinion, is the natural order of things. But if you're trying to look for a woman to be your rock, who she gonna look to? She looking at you like, who am I gonna cry to you when you crying to me?
Exactly.
I just want guys to understand that. But let's get to the next joint because we're in overtime.
I got one thing to say. I don't like it when they separate it like there's emotions and then manhood. Like my emotions are manly. Like
I agree.
Like it doesn't separate it. Like my emotions make me want to be the best man that I could be. My emotions make me drive the way I drive. My emotions make me who I am on why I act the way I act. It's not separate from me. Like I got this masculine thing going on, then I got these emotions over here that's not masculine. My emotions are masculine.
Yeah, I agree. It's part of who we are. We all have emotions. You can't separate, oh, I'm a man over here and my emotions are way over there. No, it's all part of who you are, but part of manhood is understanding how to channel your emotions in a positive way.
Yeah, so
right, even when you have negative emotions, you got to figure out how to channel that shit in a way that serves you, right? Your emotions to get better at you. Go ahead, Jim.
No, I'm just saying.
Let me get to the next question real quick.
You're mad at
so he says, why are so many dudes worried about who else? Is there a lag?
Yeah, I think
so. Is there a lag?
Yeah.
No, you
okay. All right, hold on. If y'all want to answer that question, hold on.
Stefan says, why are so many dudes worried about who else touched the baton, get the grip, and run with the appropriate form and technique? Oh, I think he's talking about body count, maybe?
I don't know.
I think so.
I think
so. It was a while ago. I think so.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'll let y'all handle that one.
Why do you always make it about comparison? Honestly, chick who had 20 sexual partners in short term, she probably had less sexual experience than a girl with one body, but he turned her out. Another body count question, or another body.
I can't.
Nah, he's kind of responding to the chat like, why do you always turn it to account? Because there could be a woman that had one dude, but yet he had her doing all sorts of stuff compared to somebody that had 20.
I wholeheartedly agree that the type of sexual experiences a woman has had is going to have much more of an impact than how many she's had.
Yeah,
I agree with that, because to your point, you could have a woman who's had 20, 30 lovers, right? But she's never had a gangbang. Okay, you can have a woman that had one lover and that guy turned her out, and now she has sex parties. Right? See, a lot of guys, the reason why they're worried about body count, because they don't understand sex. Right? And it's probably because they really haven't dealt with enough women to truly understand all the different things that can transpire when a woman has really explored the depths of her own sexuality. But a lot of times, a lot of these guys, they just guys that just get in there, fuck for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. They're not the type of guys that can really introduce women to shit.
Right.
Like they just do regular shit. Right. So a lot of guys need to understand that a lot of this sex that these women are having, a lot of it is just average sex. It's just regular shit. You know, it ain't no life-altering shit where she's been introduced to a whole nother side of sex that most guys themselves had never even been introduced to. Right. So he says, what's your advice for dealing with a chick that you really fuck with, but she want to be your girl, but you want to fuck other chicks? Tony. Fam. What do you think the answer to that question is? It don't matter what a woman wants. What do you want?
Right.
That's all that matters. Guys, it doesn't matter what a woman wants if it's not in alignment with what you want.
Facts.
Period. Because if I'm dealing with a woman and she want to be, I'll just put it like this. You know how many times I dealt with chicks that wanted to be my girl? And I said, no. No. You know how many other chicks I dealt with that wanted to be my girl or that wanted to fuck with me and me only? Or I mean, that's my bad. Let me reverse that. That wanted me to only fuck with them. And I'm like, no, you sharing me. Right? So if me telling a woman you're sharing me, if that made her say, well, I ain't fucking with you then, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm not going to alter my lifestyle because a woman wants something from me. That ain't the way that shit work.
Right.
All right, so let's move on from that. Hold on real quick. Let me make sure. Guys, we're about to wrap this up. There's one last question real quick. I've been trying to dodge this question. Wicked Scorpion says, when is your book going to be released? It's going to be released. I'm not going to give y'all no more dates. I can promise you I am working on one. That much I can promise you. But I'm going to under-promise and over-deliver on this one. It's being worked on, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
So before we get up out of here, y'all got anything you want to plug? Miles, J. Roman?
Once again, make sure y'all get your soap, man. Hit that QR code to order your soap. We got the Masculine Identity Natural Luxury Soap. And guys, make sure you check out Lucario later on today. Shout out to Renee P for being a dope-ass moderator. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Shout out to Wicked Scorpion as well. And also, guys, make sure you check out Lucario live at 5 this afternoon or, later on this evening. And, and of course, Real Game No Theory tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. And, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me, K-Zag, as always. And, that's it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Jay Roman, got anything you want to plug?
No, I'm just going to get off here. My voice is fucked, man.
Yeah. Real quick, y'all, again, as Miles alluded to, Real Game No Theory, 12 Eastern, 11 Central tomorrow. We're going to get it in early. You know what I'm saying? We always got the dope shit for y'all, so come through, fuck with us, rather. Also, check out the Patreon on my side of YouTube. Also, check out the channel membership. I got some videos that are going to be dropping. And real quick, for the Patreon people, I found some old shit from my old channel. It's dozens of audio drops that I did. So I'm going to re-release those for the Patreon people. So come fuck with your boy. Again, like, share, subscribe. Tomorrow. Peace.